Hello, good morning, everyone. I hope that you're doing well. It's currently Friday. It's the 17th of May 2024. And right now I'm at the hourly chart of Nasdaq. What we have seen this week is that we have seen a rather explosive week where we formed the low of the week here and the current high of the week is up here. If we take a look at the daily chart, we can see that new all-time highs have been created. I just shared within the mentorship forum that my expectations for today are low, and the expectations are low due to the fact that the hard time from order flow right now is not that clear to me. And even though we could potentially see the market retrace deeper into that daily BC that got created, the daily BC being present here, I would not really put a lot of weight on that. The reason why I would not put a lot of weight on that is due to the fact that the past few days were very fruitful. There were a lot of opportunities. And in my opinion, it's never wrong to simply say, okay, we focused a lot the past few days, we did a lot, and now it's the final day of the week. So why not see whether or not it's high probable? And if it's not, then just say, okay, maybe it's nice to call it a weekend now. What we can see here on this hourly chart is that the London high had been taken out right here during the New York session. Sales at equity resting below the London low right here. The weekly range, 20% of the weekly range has already been reached during London and also during Asia yesterday. So what I will be monitoring to see is the following. I'll be monitoring to see if we're going to draw towards the London low. If we will draw towards the low, how we will react of that. And if we would just fly straight through it and we would draw lower, then I would be drawn towards this BC right here, which lays around CE of that daily BC. I do not have any interest in executing. I do not have any interest in opening up a position. So therefore you can also see that I'm not even logged into my live broker, into my live account. I'm just monitoring to see this. If we go into the lower time frame, what we can see is the following 5-minute chart. We can see that we took out the London high right here, and during the 8:55 5-minute candle, we can see that the high formed. Market displays is lower, trading below this down close candle. Boom, sell program begins. Then we can see that 9:30 is right here. Market opens up, creates this huge wick to the upside, and then closes way lower, creating this CB right here. And what I'm not a fan of when it comes to this current market environment is the fact that it's very choppy relative to the midnight opening price. Here's the midnight opening price, and as you can see, price is just stalling around it. Going above it, below it, above it, below it. So what I will be monitoring to see is whether or not we're going to draw lower towards the London low. If we would not draw towards that London low, but instead form a low in this area, what would confirm that to me is if we would displace above this CB on the left side of the curve right here. If that would occur, then I would turn bullish and then I would anticipate the market to draw towards the buy side liquidity resting above this high, trading deeper into this CB right here. Buy side would be resting up here. So that's what I'm monitoring. That's what I'm looking to see. If we would trade below the London low, then my interest in that scenario would be lost. So that's what I will be utilizing during this morning session. That's the analysis, and that's the only thing I'm quite frankly interested in. If we would not see displacement above that CB, then I anticipate the market to just go sideways and be stuck inside of a range. All right, I'm going to go into the 1-minute time frame now, logged into the broker, and we'll see if there's something to trade. Buy side liquidity rests above this high. And right now what I'm doing is I'm just waiting. I'm just patiently waiting for the right time to come. The right time being the time during which I anticipate that I can see speed and velocity. What I will do is I will annotate my time cycles 8:30 and 10. And I have no interest in doing anything here, meaning this is where the majority of people get chopped up. I'm waiting at least 7 minutes. I'm going to wait 7 minutes until this time passes. Right here. And it's that simple. I just need to turn my Discord on Do Not Disturb because people are messaging me. We're seeing SMT on the lows with ES relative to the 945 row, meaning ES create a higher low here, whilst Nasdaq create a lower low. That by itself is something to be aware of. Could be of significance moving forward. I want you to investigate why I'm waiting. I want you to investigate why I'm waiting for the right time to arrive. For at least the third cycle of the morning session. This is, in my opinion, a scalper's environment, or an intraday environment, whatever you want to call it. And the reason why that is the case is because of the fact that the range that has been established, based on what I just showcased to you on the higher time frames, is rather choppy. It's rather messy. And that has to do with the fact that we're trading around the midnight opening price. And if we take a look at this delivery, what we're seeing so far is that the market is reaching and gravitating towards a discount. It's trading below the midnight opening price. However, what's the higher time frame order flow? What is the current market environment? It is of course very bullish. And because it's very bullish, we can monitor to see if we're going to see signs of higher prices coming in. And that's what I will be looking to see. The SMT with ES is still active. The SMT I can show you actually. If I go to this chart, just save this. The SMT being right here on the lows. Whereas the ES created a higher low, whilst Nasdaq did not. And then some of you might be, yo, but Zeus, why would you still look at Nasdaq then actively? Why would you not look at ES? It's because the higher time from SMT on Nasdaq is still stronger for me than some lower time from SMT. And besides that, the way that I look at the falling at the SMTs is also through a different lens of SMT, a different lens of SMT than simply looking at cracks and highs and lows. I simply also look at, for example, which market is delivering cleaner, which market is following my analysis better, and that's where Nasdaq comes in play. All right, 3 minutes left until the 10 o'clock hour begins. If the market would just be in a free fall now, and we would not really see any signs of a potential low forming, then you will see me literally walk away, and that would be that, honestly. All right, the market is drawing towards the London low. As you can see, it's trading in a deep discount. It's near the London low. I'm monitoring to see if we will reach the London low or not. ES still has traded below this low right here, and that's rather significant, and that's something to be aware of. If Nasdaq would displace above this blue box, the dark blue box, then I would be bullish on Nasdaq. Why? Because then this run lower is all manipulation. I'm just waiting. Patiently waiting. The Dow Jones is completely doing its own thing again. As a question someone asked me earlier this week was, why are you not paying that much attention to the Dow? Because the Dow is just doing its own thing right now. It's completely out of sync with ES and Nasdaq. And because that's the case, my focus is of course on the markets that are in sync. So we just crossed the 10 o'clock hour. I'm just going to go full screen. No real displacement above the blue box yet. Let me just take these drawings away. They were just to show you something, nothing more. So we have seen the wicks trade above 20% of the current week range, and we've seen them trade above this blue box. I'm personally a fan of waiting for an imbalance to form. However, if you're very convinced that this would be the low, then this would already be a potential entry opportunity. But because of the current market environment, I'm not that convinced yet of a low being in, and therefore I would just monitor it. I do not want to see the market drop below this low again, which I'm annotating right now. This blue box should function as support on price, now that we've seen the market close above it. It's not a real displacement just yet, so I'm actively monitoring it. But so far it's looking very good, very nice. If we would close above that down close candle, then I want to see it function as support on price. I'm going to make it orange for you. Oh, orange like that. Beautiful reaction of that blue box. If the market would retrace into the down close candle, that's a long opportunity. If it would run without retracing, then that's that, and then we would just walk away. Simple as that. I'm anticipating big green candles to come. The reason why I'm anticipating those big green candles is because of all of the reasons that I lined out to you. And if we do not get that retracement, no problem. Then we missed the move. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Yeah, like I know some people really deal with FOMO and all of that stuff. You know, they want to be in every single move. And to me personally, I get it. Like I get why you're feeling that way. I get why you want to go out there and show off to the world. However, what you need to understand is the fact that it doesn't really matter what you show to the world. It doesn't really matter how many times you trade. What matters is that at the end of the day, you make sure that you're getting paid. It's as simple as that. And if that is with one trade a week, that's more than enough. If that's with two trades a week, that's more than enough. And that's the mindset I want you all to adopt. Because look, even though we might see an entry opportunity here, I'm really not that keen right now. Everything that I'm seeing. If the next candle would open up, drop lower, then I would go long. If it doesn't, then I will miss out. This candle has to trade below this candle's low. Is it okay to go long inside this BC? Yes, it absolutely is. However, I want to get the best entry possible, and I'm okay with potentially missing this move, and therefore I would look to enter inside this down coast candle. Nope, it's not an entry. And that's how you save yourself from a loss. Because the market didn't do what it was supposed to do. And because it didn't, I know that I need to simply wait. What did I have to see? I had to see the market drop into this down coast candle with this candle. Then I would have anticipated a long opportunity to go higher. However, what occurred? Market opened up, went higher, trading into the 930 opening price, then going lower, but not reaching this level. Instead, the next candle opens up and immediately runs through it. Yep. I try to enter on very specific entry opportunities, and if they do not present themselves, then that means to me that I simply need to wait. And look, my annotation of big green candles incoming was wrong thus far. Going to see if we will draw towards this low and if we would reach that low. Preferably, I would like that low to remain intact, meaning I would like this down coast candle to offer some sort of support on price. But if it doesn't, and we do draw towards this low, then the reaction of that low will be very important. But the thing is, the range between this low and the London low is rather small. And because it's rather small, we need to see whether or not the London low will also not get taken then right away. I do not turn bullish on Nasdaq until we begin to see signs of displacement to the upside. See that CB that got created through this down coast candle? This CB has to get overrun in order for me to get bullish on price. If this CB will not get overrun, let me just... I hate having so many... like, this is all way too colorful for me. The only reason why I draw these boxes and stuff, you know, is because I want you to understand, okay, this is where we're currently at. However, personally, what I do is I just trade on a blank chart like this. I only have very simple annotations, and that's how I like to trade. For example, this is the 100 row. We know that. Oh, let me just go to the hourly chart. This is the 100 row. We know that. Yes? That's, for example, a time-based equity pool that I'm paying attention to. Now, this gap right here, it just got created. That's a very interesting gap because it's a potential inversion fair value gap if we would displace above it. Just going to annotate it as a future IFG. And if we would displace above that, then that would be an area where I would be interested in potentially buying. Down close candle is functioning as support right now, still, so preferably again want to see that go remain intact. Isn't it calming to know exactly what you want to see and just waiting? It's like the how would I describe it the best? I think the best way to describe it is through the following lens, where the majority of people, they seem to believe that you need to go out there and trade every single candle or every single 1 minute candle, whatever. They're so focused on trading that they just go out there and try to push it consistently. I'm of the opposing. I just sit and wait. It's that simple. Just sit and wait. That's all there is to do. I sit and wait, and that's what I do every single day until that right opportunity comes. And when that right opportunity comes, I know it is there. And if it's not there, if not everything is aligned, I will walk away. It's that simple. There's still an SMT with ES on the rows. Remember, the gap is not an inversion fire gap until we displace above it. Don't get all excited right now. Just wait. It's that simple. So, to gouge bullish order flow, what's a possible scenario? Possible scenario for bullish order flow is the following, where we would see either a retracement into this new created gap or leave it open entirely. If you would leave it open, then I want to see this gap remain unfilled if we displace above this reverse flow gap. If we retrace, it's also possible. However, would like to see it function as support on price. This downclose candle is a bullish order block, which should function as support. $9.58 low formed, and I want to see it remain intact. I'm happy to see it remain intact. That's a good sign for me. I'm also happy with where Dixie is right now. It's a discount relative to the current day range. And it's in a discount BC for London. I apologize. Bit tired. Now what I would absolutely love to see is the creation of a BC inside of this CB. If you would create a BC inside of that CB, then it would be a perfect inversion value gap for me. If we would not create a BC, no problem. We can still monitor to see something like here. What I'm not a big fan of is the fact that we saw 830 to 10 deliver lower like this so aggressively. But we'll see. It's possible that we're just going to see a market make a buy model between 830 to 1130. So during from this time cycle to this time cycle. However, then we'd have to see the signs to confirm that rather soon. But so far, we still have that pretty significant SMT with ES on the lows, and we still have these signs to confirm to us that so far everything is beginning to look all right for a potential low being in. All right, now comes something very interesting. You want to see this downclose candle function as support on price. If this downclose candle does not function as support on price, then we instead draw towards this low. And I'm going to let go of the idea and I'm going to wait until at least 10:45. I'm not going to buy here. Why not? Because for me, I want to enter when I know the market is likely to expand higher. I do not want to enter right now and try to gamble on the potential scenario of expansion coming soon. I need to know right away that expansion is loading. I need to just know it like perfectly. And that's what I'm waiting for. But so far things are lining up very nicely for expansion to come. Because we're spending a lot of time below the 930 opening price. Everyone is thinking short, everyone is looking lower. We of course know that the masses are wrong, and therefore we need to see signs of a market maker buy model basically playing out, because all the liquidity is on the buy side at this stage, only looking for higher prices. As long as the levels that I'm outlining to you are not getting displaced below, I'm anticipating higher prices. It's that simple. This is a type of reaction I was monitoring to see. If a BC forms right here, it might remain open. If it doesn't remain open and we see a retracement into it, then I would look to go long. If it remains open, it is what it is, and then the market just runs without me, and that's all good. If we would trade above this high, I would no longer be interested in entering inside the retracement leg. Reason why I'm saying that if we would trade above this high, I would no longer be interested in buying this. It's because of the fact that this high set up this whole leg lower right here. Secondly, this might be a potential breakaway gap. Why? Look at the low of this candle right here. The low of the candle comes in at 18,642. Whilst the high of this candle comes in at 18,642 and a quarter. I might have been sending a message to someone and it seems like I missed my entry over here. Yep, missed the entry. Well, shit happens. That occurs when you're not completely focused behind the charts. My fault. And I've got to deal with that. It is what it is. And now we trade above that high, so I lose interest in entering. Typical. Alright. Want to see big green candles come in. Soon. You know what? Let's do some 15-second trading. Show you how high frequency trading algorithms operate. They buy here, they place a stop below here, they know the market is going to expand. That down goes candle should function as support on price. This is not a style of trading I'm teaching you. So please don't try and go out there and do this. This downgrowth candle right here has to function as support on price. Notice that the 9:30 and midnight opening price line up with this level. Again, what I'm showcasing here is just something on the lower time frames. This is not the style of trading that I'm teaching you. Simple as that. The entry that I'm teaching you occurred right here and I simply missed it. It's as simple as that. Notice how price is moving between all the levels. Every single level that could potentially function as resistance on price is getting broken through. And that's exactly what you want to see when you're anticipating higher prices to come. Monitor this downgrowth candle here. Oh, let me extend the high probably. Kind of frustrated by the fact that I missed this entry, but it is what it is. The thing is, you can buy anywhere in that leg because the range between entry and target between point A and B is rather large. However, if I would have stuck to the model that I'm teaching you, then there would have been no entry there anymore. Pay attention to this blue box. I want to see this blue box get displaced above. When it gets displaced above, I want to see it function as support on price, preferably. So previous cycle high here, and the bias liquidity that would be a final target is up there, like outlined during my analysis pre-market. Let me just annotate this as target 1. If the market trades into that downward candle again, that might be a pyramid opportunity here, but it seems like it's too strong to do so. Patiently paying attention to that blue box. If the market doesn't displace above that blue box, then we might see very ugly delivery. But however, so far everything is looking well good. Pay attention to the take a look at exactly the level. Here, 75 is a level to look out for in a bit. And we're slowly climbing up the ladder. Look that I entered at equilibrium of that current range. Then the market begins to expand. And at this point, I want to see that blue box function as support and price. Now that we've closed above it significantly, also on the 1 minute chart, so I never want to see the market displace below that again. And at this point, I'm rather calm in this trade. I'm rather calm in the execution because I know that, how to describe it? I know that it's a free ride, so to say, meaning the stop is already better than a loss. So it's already like in a profit. And because that is the case, you can just look at order flow without any real emotional attachment at all, because you can simply say, well, this is how the market should deliver and this is how it's delivering. And based on that, make developments like that. So, so far, all good. Liking what I'm seeing. And you might be wondering, by the way, yo Zeus, why are you only using 3 contracts all the time? First of all, 3 contracts is for me a very easy number to just consistently execute based on. And secondly, it provides me with enough room to pyramid where I see fit if I want to pyramid. And secondly, it's a realistic number of contracts in my opinion. When you're trading live, you of course need some equity to be able to do so. But the thing is, it is a amount of contracts that I'm currently just showcasing of, okay, if you're able to consistently find setups with a low amount of leverage and you do that, let's say a few times a week, what you can do with that is just amazing. And people think, oh, you need to go long with 10 contracts, you need to go long with 15 contracts, and it's completely bogus. Surely, if you have the risk appetite to do so, and you have the capital to be able to do so, go for it. However, for the majority of people, it's simply not reality anytime soon. And that's something you need to accept, and it's something you need to be okay with. Now, what we're seeing is that on the 1 minute chart, we have created an imbalance. ES is leading the pack. ES is leading the pack because ES is already trading way above the 930 high, but Nasdaq has also traded above it. What I will be doing is I will be annotating the low of that 1 minute BC that just has been created. It formed right here. So I'm monitoring to see if we're going to see a soup of that. If we do not take out that low, but still continue higher, then that's a very bullish sign. But as you can see, we've taken it out. What I'm now monitoring to see is I'm monitoring to see if we're going to utilize that BC as an inversion value gap. I pyramid in that, because I believe it should act as an inversion value gap. Perfect reaction of CE right there. Absolutely beautiful. It's magnificent. And now I'm monitoring to see if we're going to see that expansion to the upside. Stop can be trailed. It can already basically be below here, because the market should never displace that low. I'm not a fan of this expansion leg lower, closing below the BC. CB, I'm sorry, the inversion value gap. And there we get stopped out and the market expands to the downside. Great trade management and very happy with it. That concludes so far this setup. I believe that all in all, this is now going to turn into a rather messy session. And I don't want to do anything with that. Let me just show the execution areas with you. I hope that you found this lecture insightful, and I look forward to catching with you in the next one.